Right now, you've probably heard a ton of people on YouTube talking about why branding your dropshipping store is the best thing since sliced bread. And I'm here to tell you that that is not the case. This is one of the biggest myths in the dropshipping space and is directly responsible for, in my opinion, beginners not seeing the success that they are looking for. Starting out with branding is such a catastrophic mistake because there is so much to lose, and as a beginner, you do not want to financially or mentally trap yourself into a product that you don't know is going to work. Everyone talks about branding as this, kind of quick fix to all of their problems and all of your problems, and that by branding your store and product, everything will automatically fall into place. And this, again, couldn't be farther from the truth. Now, in this video, I'm going to go through and explain every reason why this is a massive mistake and what you need to do instead to see success much earlier and make things work properly, and why you should brand your store overall later in the process. So, to start with, every problem you will face by branding too early. Now, generally speaking, as a beginner, you don't know how to properly identify the criteria to look out for and what makes a product a winner. You also don't know what makes a high converting product page or how to create a high converting product page and add creative. Now, let's say for argument's sake, you happen to nail down everything that I just mentioned. You then have to make sure you have a proven to work advertising strategy for your product. Now, chances are, if you are watching this video, you probably don't have that in place at the moment, which is why you need to stay as far away from branding as possible until you have a proven concept with your product. Here are the three main problems that you will face. So, the first one is tying up your money. Normally with branding, you're going to have custom packaging, and store logos on the products. The supplier that you work with will require you to buy inventory in bulk, and by doing that, it increases your product price and pretty drastically reduces your margins. Now, when you're at scale doing hundreds of orders a day, thousands of orders a day, it's not the biggest issue. But doing this before you have a proven concept is extremely bad and reduces your overall success and profitability with your store. Now, the second issue is bulking inventory. Now, by bulking inventory, you are now sitting on basically a load of money for a product that you do not have, as I mentioned before, proof of concept for, and have no idea if it's going to sell. Not only that, you're going to have to find a place to store these products. Now, some suppliers will do you the courtesy of holding that inventory in one of their warehouses, but a lot of the cases, they will not only require you to bulk that inventory, but then also figure out where you're going to keep it. So whether that's at your house, now you're basically trapping an entire room or half a room of product that you don't know if it's going to sell or not. Or you have to pay to get a warehouse or an Amazon fulfillment center or a thing of that nature. Now, the third massive mistake that I see with branding, and this is probably the most detrimental one, is becoming emotionally attached to that product. Because of the time, money, and general headspace that branding requires, you will become emotionally attached to the product, which will restrict your maneuverability to start testing your next product if the current one doesn't work. In the dropshipping space, the biggest superpower that you have is the ability to stop testing a product if it's not working and move on to the next one without having a massive financial repercussion or time investment repercussion. You will lose the ability to become detached from this product, and instead of focusing on the numbers and the data, you will focus on trying to make something that isn't working work. And overall, I've seen this a lot of times. When you do that, you start to just blow money, not only on obviously the inventory and the upfront expenses, but then your advertising and marketing expense. When you become emotionally attached to something, you want to try to see it out to the end, and you're clouded by emotion and not making rational decisions. And that is an issue, especially in the dropshipping business. Now, you're going to be wondering, okay, well, what do I do instead of branding? Firstly, before I get into that, I want to explain what makes me qualified to even speak on this topic. So if you're new to the channel, you may be wondering, hey, what makes this random guy qualified to speak on this? And I'm going to explain. So at this point, I've personally generated close to 7 figures across multiple different Shopify stores. And I think more importantly, my students whom I've mentored one-on-one and taken from the exact beginning stage, which you are currently in, to them making thousands of dollars per month. Collectively, they've generated over 7 figures in total. I've streamlined a path to success, which helps avoid all of the common pitfalls that beginners face. So I say all of that to say, not in an arrogant way, but just to say that I've done this a ton. We've replicated not only my own success, but multiple students in multiple different countries that come from multiple different backgrounds. If everybody is seeing the same outcome, maybe there's some truth to that. If you do want more, or you want to see more of this in detail, I have an hour video case study on my YouTube channel with a student of mine that I took from 0 to 40K per month. And we literally go through everything. You can also see other student results on my Instagram, which is in the description. But anyway, I can tell you with certainty for each and every single one of my students, the reasons why their stores were so successful was not because they had branded packaging, was not because they had custom tags on their products and 2 to 3 day delivery. It was because of this. So I had them focus on finding products that solved a problem and that was in a passionate niche. We then created a high converting landing page that identifies and answers how your product is going to solve your customers' pain points. Now, a pain point is an issue or a struggle that your customer faces and that your product solves. That is what a customer pain point is in business. The next step was we created a high converting ad creative that shows the product being used by a person that is in your targeted demographic. So, for example, if we're testing a baby niche product, we have a mother or a father that looks to be in the targeted demographic showing off the product. We also have the product being used by a toddler or a baby, which is who the product's made for. Now, after that, we have them rapid test products until we find a winner. And remember, and the key, remembrance for them and obviously for everyone watching is to not become emotionally attached. If something is not working after a week of testing, move on. Do not waste any more of your time or your money testing stuff that does not work or that has proven to not work. Now, I'm not saying that branding is bad as a blanket statement, because that is definitely not true. Branding is a crucial step to scale your dropshipping store past 150K per month. However, as a beginner and before you have a proof of concept, I would 100% recommend to not start with branding until you've passed, I would say, at least 3K per day consistently for over 2 months. Now, what you're seeing right here is one of my stores that was doing close to 4K per day, and I still didn't have custom packaging and logos on all of my products. And guess what? My customer satisfaction wasn't impacted at all. The main reason people delve into the branding is because they think that it adds more validity to their product and their brand, and that it increases customer satisfaction. If this isn't proof of not having to brand before consistent results, I don't know what I could provide that shows you it is. Now, if you are a beginner wondering on what the process looks like to get from a dropshipping beginner to 10K a month, I have something for you. If you found value in this video and want to be a part of a dropshipping community and be mentored one-on-one by myself, from the very start of your journey to the scaling phase and eventually, when it's needed, the branding phase, click the link in the description and schedule a consultation call with myself personally where we'll chat and see if you'd be a good fit to start working together.